Yes, it's the Jim and Terry Show coming to you from the Hobbit Hole studio. We're live in our bunker getting ready for the zombie apocalypse, which is the Trump 2.0. Oh my goodness. Yes, good squeaking. That sort of indicates that we're both a little gobsmacked by, and we'll get this podcast over with just as an assessment. Maybe we'll get into some details of things that are unusual to us, things that just don't sit right. I'm going to use the word zombie apocalypse for the Trump administration.
Good word, yes.
Because we know now at least a dozen of the appointments. But let's precursor this to talk about the handshake in the White House.
The uncomfortable handshake in the White House.
Did it seem, you watched it, I watched it, did it seem
seemed
stilted, a little awkward?
Well, Biden had the smile on, which he can do. He can do that.
He's
got a lovely smile.
I've
Trump didn't until he looked over and saw Biden smiling, and then he smiled. He wasn't smiling prior to that.
That's funny. So usually you saw his mob boss thug shot from this criminal indictments.
Yeah.
So I thought he was going to try to do that one.
Well, I think he wanted to, with his ego, I think he wanted to establish right off the bat, I'm now king. I am it. I'm the most powerful man in the world. And you pointed out that Putin has pictures of Melania and maybe pictures we haven't seen of Melania.
Or
maybe
Trump.
Pictures of Melania and Trump, maybe pictures of Trump in that golden shower. We
Yes.
don't know, but he's got
Right.
stuff on Trump. That's a fact now. Or he wouldn't have posted the pictures of Melania.
So when you said he's the most powerful man in the world, really, Putin is, and I've written about that in my blog. You can check it out. Putin's the guy. He fired a shot across Trump's bow right at the start saying, "You're my bitch."
Yeah, maybe. I wasn't aware of that. I remember hearing it. I didn't. Maybe my defensive system just broke down so that I overloaded and blew a fuse, and had to reboot.
It's possible.
Had to reboot, defrag.
Our ones and twos, if you haven't seen Jim need to defrag and reboot the system, you're not missing anything.
But now that you mentioned it upstairs, well, I had that wonderful breakfast you provided for me. Thank you.
If it can't be hospitable, what good are we, Jim?
That's it. And you do practice hospitality. When you were talking up there and you brought up the pictures of Melania, I went, oh, crap, yeah. I really didn't dwell on that or thought about that. I said, but why would he release them? Of course, it's firing that shot across the bow saying, remember what I have on you.
Remember who's your daddy.
And you had always said, I wonder what Putin's got on Trump. I think we know now partly what Putin has on Trump.
Yes.
Melania's past, or him and her, or Trump and somebody else. He's obviously he can find the information.
Yeah.
And he's let Trump know. Just remember what we talked about.
Yeah, so there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. But Putin fired across Trump's bow, so we know the pecking order in the world. What did you said that Trump came out of the second meeting? There were two, the 1 hour public and the press was present in the White House, the Oval Office, handshaking and smiling.
Yeah.
Then there was the 1 hour after that. We don't know what's all that went on, but you said he came out immediately. Trump came out of that meeting immediately.
Yeah.
And you said, you described it this way. Go ahead.
Well, I just said he came out, and who's the guy? I keep getting it.
Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, Gates. I keep calling him Cruz. He immediately came out and appointed Gates as his attorney general. And Gates is absolutely, even the Republican Party knows, or the Trump Party, I should call him correctly, knows that is the worst guy. Apparently he's hated within their own party. This guy is just not liked. One of the reasons is he sleeps with younger girls and underage, apparently, allegedly, and many other things. He's taken women across the border and into drugs.
Sex trafficking, pedophilia, underage.
Yeah, and drugs. And now he's going to be the moral compass of your attorney general. And I thought that was giving a double finger to all of his opponents, even those who still remain within his party, his loyalty to the cult. He's given them the finger saying, remember who's in power here. I can do anything I want. And as you know, he wants to recess. He wants to be able to just appoint and watch out for a crisis which closes down government. Then he'll appoint everybody.
During the recess, when everybody's gone, close it down.
And
don't
appoint.
reopen it.
And appoint. And just appoint the people you want. So I think that was all deliberate. I think it was a finger to Biden. I think that kind-looking man sitting there, Trump was basically saying, I got you, and if I want to come after you and your family, I can do that.
Now, you and I both interpreted that meeting in a positive way, saying if America has a future, it will be because Biden continued the normal transition. This is what has been done for 200 and some odd years, and this is the way we do it, even though Trump did not. In fact, he got in the way of the transition for the Biden administration.
He caused an insurrection.
Yes.
He was trying to overthrow the government.
Right. So compare. Can we do a compare and contrast?
There's no comparison.
There should be none. And yet people were willing to vote. Somebody said it this way. They were willing to vote their deranged ex back in and restart the relationship.
Yeah.
You don't invite your deranged ex into the house.
Yeah, well, the people knew. I think we talked about it. I said Trump announced that he wanted to be a dictator. He said,
for a day.
Yeah. He also has indicated that maybe stick around after the 4 years. There's only one real way you can do that.
Yep.
There has to be a major emergency that keeps the government in place. Maybe kill off everybody else. I don't know. He's already announced that. He's a 34 convicted felon that the legal world, not the government, sitting government, but the legal world launched against him, and he's a felon, and this is the guy you picked, a guy that just lies about absolutely everything. This is the guy that you picked.
So those who voted for Trump, this is on you. Not that it's a good thing, but whatever's down the pipe from here is
you asked for it.
You asked for it.
Well, I compared it to when Solomon was all hurt that the Hebrews wanted Saul.
You mean Samuel was hurt? He was taking it personally?
Samuel took it personally as a prophet.
Right.
That Israel wanted
Saul
to be their king when they didn't have a king. They had judges and stuff. But they wanted a king like all the other nations wanted a king. And Samuel went to God, and God said, look, this isn't against you, Samuel. This is against me. And then God said, but give them their king, but tell them what the king's going to do. And he did. He explained it to the Israelites, the raising of taxes, taking of land, everything else. And Israel still said, we don't care, give us a king.
Now, you also said that it was like Cyrus who's going to be judging. That's Trump's role.
Yeah.
Trump is going to judge America. In other words, you're going to be found wanting and destroy the place.
But America had this opportunity to
turn the page.
Fresh
start.
And I don't care if you see a lot of the things that you may not like about what Kamala said, and there's some of them I don't. But at least it's good to know that you can vote her out, change things the way you want.
And she will leave in 4 years.
Or you take the abortion issue. I don't believe you can really dictate morality to people. Either you think it's wrong or not. So I don't even know why it's out there. I mean, if someone's going to kill a baby, that's how I view it. I mean, I know how you view it.
No,
forgive me. I didn't mean to.
I agree with you that we don't want to dictate morality.
Yeah.
And to give that abortion as a choice is what I call freedom. Well, you would call it something else, I guess. But
no. In a way, we're saying the same thing, but I'm taking that as if she had won, you can still make the decision to have the baby. You can still make all of those decisions.
Nothing would have changed. You would have just put Roe versus Wade back in place, which was already been for half a century.
But my point being, you kind of would have had that choice. With Trump coming in, he basically told you what I'm going to do. Yep. I'm going to change the rules.
Yep.
I am going to take over everything. And it's my moral backing, my moral beliefs, my moral ways. And I'm saying this on purpose, Terry, because he has no morals.
I would have felt more comfortable if you had signaled that irony by putting the little rabbit ears around moral.
So what he's going to do and put into place his puppet people. And I said to you, and forgive me for talking so much, our listeners, but I said to you, I think the main reason is if he puts in place inferiors, people who don't know what they're doing, with all honesty, he can say, I know more than my generals. I know more than my attorney general. I know more than everybody.
He said that in his first term.
Yeah, but
He's
now
gonna
he
say
really
it.
will.
Right.
So he can say right to their face.
Well, Dylan said it. You got to serve somebody.
You gotta serve somebody.
Anybody
So,
who's in the
yeah.
Trump administration, you know who you're serving.
You're serving Trump. He
That's
is the
fun.
king of your world.
Did you know that Wiles person, who's now the chief of staff and was his campaign manager,
Yes,
was the
yeah,
one in the room in Mar-a-Lago when he was showing the top secret documents, whose voice we heard laughing?
Well, there you go.
There you go. And on that auspicious note, the whole Trump administration began to fall into place. And
Well, not only that, I love how, I wonder how long that'll last, that she gets control of who sees
yeah,
him.
because she's chief of staff.
Yeah, so
But you know who's under her, who will make sure that she does the right thing? Stephen Miller. Well, if he could look like Count Dracula any more than he does, there was one time in his first term in the Trump administration, where he looked like he used a cardboard V, put it on his forehead, and spray painted black stuff on his head. He did look like, and I forget who he was interviewing, Jake Tapper, I believe, on CNN, and I couldn't believe this thing coming down of Count Chocula, maybe. But he's
the only thing
he's
missing
vicious.
is
Well, he might have done that. It's crazy. So we got Tulsi Gabbard, who's now Director of National Intelligence. Tulsi Gabbard, who has the ear of Putin. Tulsi Gabbard, who with Tucker Carlson has been on Russia Today. Who's been
There you go, Terry.
the table sitting with.
So I wonder if Putin's saying, I would like this person.
Oh,
Why can't you have this person?
Well, they were celebrating on Russia Today because
They've celebrated all their choices.
all their choices so
Yeah.
far. So what is that saying? When your enemies are celebrating your choices for your administration.
Maybe Putin's won. Maybe he's already won.
Well, we said that. And I have, again, to plug my blogs, that's the title of my latest. Has Russia won the long game? You're the one who always mentions Khrushchev, 1956. We'll bury you without firing a shot.
Yeah, we'll bury you from within.
From within.
And they may have done that, folks. So congrats. You're the ones who picked
You
them.
got it. Trump 2.0. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's Jim and I are wound up this morning. Just finding out that Matt Gaetz is going to be the district attorney, that set us all off. We're triggered. No, wait a minute. That was Don Jr.'s book. Made the top bestsellers list on the...
Did you see the picture of Elon Musk? He's actually ahead of his Trump's own son. Unbelievable.
Oh, we'll get to Elon Musk in the next podcast when we talk about SpaceX.
Oh, yeah, SpaceX
Let's
is
do
coming.
That. Jim and Terry Show signing off for now. Bye-bye.